people tell the government what it is allowed to do. We the people are free.
Hey, welcome everybody to the second episode of Politically Uncensored. I was actually looking forward to this since the last one ended last Thursday. I had so much fun, and hopefully everybody else here did too. I had so much fun that I said, wait a second, we got to do another show. So we waited, and here we are. And by the way, check out the new swag.
I was gonna say, I mean, I was on the edge of my seat in the best way. And I'm going to speak for the ladies in the room. Like, I know that, I'm the boobs here of this operation, but I don't know if it's just me. I'm feeling some big dick energy tonight. I'm just going to come right out with it. I mean, our mouths are free, Dave. The intro said
it's not coming from me. I don't think there's no way that's coming from me.
I mean, what do you think? You got the swag. It's not just the swag. It's not just the new merch. Like, it is just something in the
so
air.
Wait, I'm giving off
tonight.
BDE?
Just in this whole forum. I'm just feeling it tonight. Wow. I don't know if it's Puppet with the lean in. It's just what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Maybe. I've never given off BDE before. So at least I didn't realize it did. Maybe that's when I go out, people are like, hey.
I'm giving off BCE.
How so?
Oh God. What is
big
BCE?
Cotton energy.
That's right. I was just going to make a very politically incorrect joke.
BCE.
It didn't have to do with slavery. It didn't have to do with slavery, guys. The cotton energy.
Oh God, Taylor.
It did it. It's politically uncensored.
Yeah, but you can still get like, I don't know, fired or something.
By who, Puppet?
I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
Guys.
Fired by me, Dave. The only one going to get fired by me is you, buddy.
I mean, look, we're already pushing the envelope with Puppet spray tan over there. I mean, it's borderline blackface.
Maybe
with the spray tan.
Who's getting blacklisted now, Dave?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like,
but maybe
he went in and he's like, and they're like, how much spray tan do you want, Puppet? And he's like,
I'm getting blacklisted in blackface. Like,
I know.
Like, getting Megyn Kelly. He is getting Megyn Kelly.
He's missing. I don't even know. He's like, but anyway.
So
he's like, he looks like more like Geraldo Rivera than Puppet Carlson.
You know what?
He's a little mustache.
If you think that, our black face is going to get flagged or Puppet's tan is going to get flagged. Maybe
nobody's doing blackface. Nobody's doing blackface. Let's not even put that out there.
We're not even okay. Yes, we're redacting unlike the JFK files. I'm just saying it might get a little crazy tonight. I mean, I may be playing smash or pass with conservative versus liberal influencers, and we even have George Santos.
That's what I heard.
Playing smash or pass with people in Congress.
That's what I heard. I heard we're going to do a game of smash and pass with Congressman George Santos himself, a good friend. And so I'm looking forward to that. And that's going to probably come up at midway through the show, but you have to stay tuned for all of it. What else are we going to talk about tonight? JFK files. Hello. We've been waiting for like 50 years for JFK files. We're getting JFK files tonight. Well, we got them. Listen, I read through all 80,000 pages already. Can you believe that? I did.
Yeah. I know you did.
Yeah, I did.
Was it you or your really handy friend that rhymes with smat beep flea?
My really handy
Puppet said P.
Puppet and Harry Simpson are the only fancy friends that I have, and I'm actually not even friends with Harry. But we're going to talk about him later too, right?
We are. Harry Sisson, the sissy of all liberal influencers, and Puppet has something for us that isn't the plane down under in his pants, but the plane in the sky in St. Pete, Florida. I don't know. There's a whole thing going on there.
We're talking conspiracies. We're talking JFK files. We're talking about Harry Sissy, and we're smashing or passing people in Congress.
Friend Dave has this Harry Palm,
right? And all of it is coming up tonight on Politically Uncensored.
Free your mouth and your mind will follow. Speak your truth, don't wait for tomorrow. Words like rivers can carve through stone.
This place is insane.
Yeah, they did. She did it under oath.
It's just too much noise and it becomes negative.
To bear
Deemed the Celebrity Whisperer by Playboy.
Write your fears on the back of the wind. Tear down the walls you were raised within. Chains of whispers rust and break.
speech in America. It's back.
I love that show, but I
feel like I want to get a lighter and be at Woodstock.
no.
There was one thing you did right. It was the intro.
Thank you. I put a lot of time into that, you know. I mean,
know you did.
but like at least an
What
hour.
happens what you can do when you don't have a life.
Like the time puppets putting into our romance.
Puppet
like
Puppet can lick it.
Dave, I'm gonna lick it.
Freudian slip, Dave. Freudian slip on a Tuesday.
I guess it was. Now somebody's giving off B something energy. BVE. Is that a thing? Is BVE a thing?
It sounds like an STD. So I don't know if I want to find out. Harry Sisson might know. Harry Sisson might know.
I've got a Harry Sisson.
Listen, that's the question for the chat tonight. Can women, if men can give off BDE, can women give off BVE? Is that a thing, or is that like just when an animal's in heat and like it's a BVE like heat?
What
if
it's like LV, like BLE, big lip energy?
And that's not just the logo of our show. That's a little.
I know.
That's a little TMI. I was thinking big tit energy.
That's like Arby's.
Oh, BT. I like that.
He did not with the Arby's. What actually ever happened?
We have the meat. No, Arby's is good. I really like
Arby's.
No, have you not had Arby's lately?
I haven't had Arby's lately, but I'll tell you what I have had that's making a comeback of my chain restaurant dreams. Thank God, is Chili's. Have you guys seen that?
What the hell is up with
Chili's?
Did we talk about this on your show? Because I feel like we've talked about Chili's.
Yes, we did talk about it maybe on our show.
No, or maybe on a phone call.
Slip it low key to Puppet because he has yet to take me there on a date. Geez, how many times does a girl have to like make
Okay, TikTok is doing this, by the way.
I would take you to Chili's any day.
It's TikTok. The reason why TikTok, the only reason it should be banned, I actually like TikTok, but the reason why it should be banned is it's making people go to Chili's. Who was telling me about this story?
We were talking about it, Dave. We talked about this. I don't remember where.
But it wasn't on the show. We were talking about how brilliant the marketing is for Chili. I think we were talking about it at the pub.
Alan in the chat. Alan, what did you have at Chili's yesterday? Was it the fajitas that are steamy as my romance?
Do they sizzle out like the food you get when you want everybody to know you order fajitas?
No, you know what's making the comeback? It's actually like you talk about the one thing that Dave is good for. This is the one thing that Gen Z is good for.
I'm good for one thing.
You said the intro.
One thing and one thing only.
No, the good thing that Gen Z is good for is bringing back Chili's because their mozzarella sticks have gone viral because of the cheese pull. It's a whole science. Don't ask Fauci. He'll kill it. Okay.
Cheese sticks are the nastiest things on the planet. Now, cheese curds, on the other hand, are delicious. Like the little fried, like the cheese curds. But cheese sticks, mozzarella sticks, it's the dumbest. Who said I'm going to take fake cheese and cover it in fake breading, deep fry it in nasty oil, and then I'm going to give it to people, and then it's just going to out. That's not even a date food. Are you guys going to eat?
And then we're going to kiss like this, like Lady in the Tramp, right?
That's not Lady in the Tramp.
I have it all planned out.
That's like the opposite of Lady in the Tramp. It's not. I don't know what it would be. RFK would be very upset. But speaking of RFK,
don't talk too loud. He's gonna hear you and ban.
Alan said he had a grilled chicken salad, so RFK would approve of that.
Who the hell? And Alan, I love you. Who the hell goes to Chili's and gets a grilled chicken salad?
I know you can get a better grilled chicken salad somewhere else.
That's like going for the beer. I don't understand.
Culver's has great cheese curds. Yeah.
Culver's has the best cheese curds.
Culver's is good.
Don't sleep on Culver's.
No.
You can. Never mind.
Wait, question for the room. Who is more likely to take you on a first date at a fast food chain? A conservative man or a liberal man? Go.
Wait.
Liberal man. Period.
No, a conservative man. Screw that. Hey, listen.
Disagree.
Let me tell you something. If I picked up Taylor for a date, and you should take some notes, Puppet, because you're gonna have to do this soon. I don't even know how you drive. It's like those little vans with the joysticks or something. If I'm picking up Taylor for a date, you know what I'm doing? I'm taking her to Chili's. And when she goes, "Are you seriously taking me to Chili's?" I say, "I'm going to take you to Chili's for dinner, and then we're going to go get a really nice dessert at some fancy restaurant just to prove that we know how to be normal people who eat normal American food, and then we fancy it up. I think conservative women would appreciate going to some kind of dive and drinking shitty beer and having fun versus going to a fancy restaurant and pretending you're all pretentious. Liberals go to fancy restaurants that other people can't afford to go to while they talk about how unfortunate it is that poor people can't go to the restaurants they're eating at. Then they tell conservatives that they have to give a portion of their money to liberals so they can go and eat at the restaurant next door to the fancy restaurant they're eating at. That's the way liberals think.
It's
so no,
giving
I'm
Chuck
doubling
Schumer.
down.
It
I
is
think
giving
I'm right.
It's giving Chuck Schumer on The
Oh
View.
God, did we forget to
It
get
is
that
giving
clip?
Chuck Schumer on The View. You know, we can reenact it. I don't think any of us
yeah,
want to
that clip
relive
with
it
Chuck
because it
Schumer
was
was-
horrible. But I agree. Chili's is some blue collar.
I don't even say
Goodness.
blue collar.
You can't say though that you
It is. I just went. I have no shame in the blue collar game.
You said that you were going to take her to Chili's because it was like a dive bar. Chili's is not even anywhere close to a dive bar. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's a skunky place, but it's not no one would call that a dive bar. It's not a cool dive bar. It's just a crappy restaurant, period. You're taking her to a shitty restaurant and calling it conservative. That's crazy.
Whatever.
Look,
It's also like, Puppet, why are you, we're going to talk about the JFK files. We've all been like holding out. Like, why are you holding out on this? Is there something you're hiding? Are you trying to make me like, are you playing hard to get? It's like, we can't even go to Chili's. Like, I feel like I'm holding out on our date on the JFK files. Like, what's a girl got to do?
Well, we have to at least be in the same room because I have a hard time with mobility issues.
All right. Well, you all can figure that out.
But Puppet Carlson satisfies.
Well, that remains to be seen.
Look at the profile.
That does remain to be seen.
Look at the profile. Look at that.
All right. So you put on too much spray tan.
It's a nice dark profile.
So the JFK files are released today. We've been waiting for these. A lot of people suggested that it would be like Epstein Files 2.0.
That person was me.
Yeah, was that you? Night. Like, oh, there's going to be white binders and DC Drano, and there's not going to be anything in them. I've said, and I can, and now that I have these files, I actually have them here. Now that we have them, I think my point was right. What I said was, do you guys really think there's going to be a piece of paper in that folder that said there was actually 4 shooters and his name's Doug and he lives here? No, of course not. There's not going to be anything in the JFK files that's going to really change anything, because if it was a vast conspiracy to assassinate a president, if it was a vast conspiracy to George Santos is texting me, so I'm getting distracted on live TV here. If it was a vast conspiracy to assassinate a president, they're not going to go and take really good notes and make sure they're stored alphabetically in a file cabinet. That's just not what they're going to do. So one of two things: either they're not going to be any records, or there's going to be fake records, right? So anyway, the files are released. And by the way, George Santos says he's very excited to see both of you. He didn't say he was excited to see me.
George, my 3 nipples, my 2 here, and the nipple that is my microphone. They are excited and ready.
For 1 second, I went to Total Recall. And do you remember that scene?
Remember that scene?
Yeah. And I'm like, crap. I'm like, is that a real thing? Have you seen it?
The 3 nipples, like, I remember that. Like, I was trying to get that thing on pause on the video VHS machine back in the day. You know what I mean?
Right. But the question you have to ask then, if you saw a woman with, now not so much 3 nipples, like if you had 2 nipples and then one just like absurdly placed on the side of something that's not supposed to be there, I wouldn't want that there anymore. But what if you had 3 boobs? Like, would a guy be freaked out by that? Or do you think, I don't know how this is.
Total Recall. 3 boobs, right?
Yeah, it was 3 boobs.
And what's the verdict? And is it change in puppet world when the lady puppets have 3 boobs, or is this just universal?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Is it more than you can handle?
Unless you're an alien puppet, you don't have 3 boobs. You have 2 boobs.
Some
puppets have no boobs. They're like trans women.
Is 3 freakish though for puppet or human? Is it like you're going hog wild, or is it just because I'm telling you, I got enough that I can handle with one guy's package. I don't need any. That's enough.
What if you had 3 testicles? That's fair. What if there was 3 testicles?
And
they're all the 3 they have to compete for each other. They all have to compete. The 2, they complement each other. They're hanging there. They have nothing to hide. Whereas once it's the 3, it starts to get who's competing for the attention. No, it's too much. It's too much.
So, okay. So so 3 testicles is no good. Puppet 3 boobs? Yay or nay?
The thing is, the 3 boobs, Dave. If you drink, if you go to Chili's and you have enough drinks, bad beef, and maybe a 3 boob night is in order.
Look, I'm saying I wouldn't
the first time.
I wouldn't pass it up. Like I wouldn't be like, sorry, I'm not going to do this. This is weird for me. But at the same time, I don't need it because I got 2 hands, 2 eyes. You know, I don't know what I would do with 3. I feel like one would be left out. And then it would be another thing I don't do right. It would be another reason for a woman to criticize. You know, be like, you're not touching the right boob. Be like, well, you only got 2 freaking hands. And you'd be like, no, there's 3 boobs.
Good luck finding that spot.
Exactly.
Good
so
luck
I
with
don't
that.
need the 3rd boob. Women are confusing already. And I'm not even going to get into like.
Such a
butts. Yeah. So I'm good with 2 boobs. And a weird nipple in an odd place. Do something with it. That's my verdict.
You know how, you do the old Barumski, the motorboat?
Barumski? Who the hell calls it a Barumski?
Puppet motorboat.
I'm gonna do that to you, baby.
I've never laughed this hard on air.
Again. You know when you do that? What if you had 3 boobs? You would be like, you'd be like a buoy in a boat or something. You'd be like getting knocked out while you're doing it because you just keep banging.
I don't know what to do.
Puppet motorboating is going to be my new background on my wallpaper on my phone. Like it is going to live rent free in my
I don't know
mind.
if I'm ever going to get that out of my head.
Listen, and I'm a motorboating son of a bitch. So,
oh Jesus,
you know what I mean?
Okay,
but does your cotton get fluffed up? Does your cotton get like you go too much? I don't know. They might like set ablaze.
I dig it. I just get and the center one's it's a mess.
All right. Really so JFK files were released today, and in the JFK files, like I said,
not much to motorboat in it.
Yeah, Speaking of motorboating, the JFK files were released today. And I have a summary here, 80,000 pages, and of course, I reviewed it for the audience here because that's what a responsible show host does. While you guys are freaking motorboating and talking about Chili's, I did real work.
I will say, Dave, it was a brilliant idea in the last minute before the show.
I agree. I think it was a minute and a half. Let's give it that.
3 boobs and a minute and a half. The complaints start over and over. Women are never satisfied. All right, look, March. Here's the deal. Today, the JFK files were released, and I'm going to summarize everything for you. Right.
This is
here.
Perfect.
You go.
If you're listening to the show, you are saving hours of time right now.
Correct. Hours of time.
You are now getting the biggest insights right now.
Right. Here's what you need to know.
Important comment from Alan, Dave.
Yeah.
JFK did not own a motorboat, but he did own a yacht.
Well, that's a motorboat. It depends on how fancy you are. What's the difference between a motorboat and a yacht?
It's not a sailboat. A motorboat is not a yacht, dude.
Why not? It has a motor, unless you're talking about a yacht with sails. It's a motorboat.
And by the way, JFK was a master motorboater.
Well, ask Marilyn Monroe.
Was that in the files?
Marilyn Monroe wasn't in the files. That's the odd thing. There wasn't really any mention about Marilyn Monroe.
Because they burnt those files.
Well, Ted Kennedy. What's the Kennedy that supposedly drowned a woman in the Chappaquiddick? Yeah. So anyway, so the CIA and the FBI had prior warnings about Oswald's activity and failed to act. That's new.
So that is new, and they have been waiting for that.
Right. Butler. Does that remind you of Butler with President Trump? This guy's sitting there with a cell phone. So now another instance where the CIA and the FBI had prior warnings but failed to act. Right.
Do we know how soon? How much prior? Or did it not specify?
It just said prior. This is a 50-year-old file. I don't know. It was before this.
But as you keep reading in the summary, you'll find out how much.
I don't think you will. Newly uncovered CIA memos indicate Oswald was under surveillance in Mexico City.
If you are familiar with the timeline, you would know that when he was in Mexico was before the assassination, so a good while.
Okay, thank you, Puppet. Thank you, Puppet. The FBI received a call warning that Oswald would be killed before Jack Ruby shot him. So
they let him get shot.
Yep.
What does that say?
Many withheld documents exposing the intelligence errors rather than conspiracy evidence. So it seemed to cover up. This is according to the evidence release. It seems the cover up was to cover up the failures, not so much the act. Right? Other factoid.
That's the stuff they stuck in there to throw you off the trail.
Well, but that was my point I made at the onset. Oswald, I'm going to go very quickly through these, okay? Mm-hmm. Oswald attempted to obtain a Cuban visa before the assassination, and Oswald spoke to Soviet agents However, the KGB assessed Oswald as being emotionally unstable and unreliable as an agent. So despite the conspiracies, it does not appear that Oswald was actually a KGB agent.
No, it was a CIA asset.
Yeah, well, the Soviet Union was shocked to learn that the U.S. Might retaliate because of the assassination. The Soviet intelligence suspected an internal U.S. right-wing conspiracy. And
It
Cuba
sounds like
was...
Nancy Pelosi might have wrote those documents.
She ripped it up.
It's like it's a Russian propaganda. It's like they're colluding with Russia.
The rip.
You're good with
it's the carpal tunnel for me that she, like, if you're gonna do it, Nance, do it right. You know, like, leave the task to the rest of us. Leave it to we've mastered the art. Okay?
I'm sure somebody pre-ripped the papers for her. She was like, and then like you had Adam Schiff running up, Miss Nancy. Anyway, so the Soviet
Union was
weird. Yeah, declassified files show Cuba was not involved, though Oswald sought Cuban support and a bunch of other stuff. The document suggested possibly 4 shots, contradicting the 3-shot theory. And witnesses reported movement on the grassy knoll, which fueled that second shooter speculation. New records confirm CIA and mafia ties in anti-Castro plots, but not JFK's assassination. And FBI memos indicate deliberate destruction of evidence related to Oswald's warnings. That's really some of the big stuff out of here today. It's mostly intelligence failures, and maybe that's why they wanted to keep it hidden. But again, anything in here, are you going to trust it? Or I don't know. So let me ask you, Taylor. Yes, you're recognized. You have 30 seconds.
Am I out of timeout?
No,
Trad Dad Dave.
Yeah, you're good. You're welcome to proceed.
Trad Dad Dave.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna make those merch shirts, by the way, and they're gonna be flying off of.
Speaking of which, if somebody wants to get this shirt and look as good as me, if they want all of this, if they want to give off the BDE in their own politically uncensored shirt, where can they get that?
Where can they actually?
PoliticallyUncensored.com?
I was in politicallyuncensored.com. I was enthralled. Actually, some of it designed by yours truly. I was enthralled by these comments that we're getting in the comments that are amazing. So should we address the comments, or should a blonde have a moment to admit maybe
no, it's your show. You were recognized to say whatever it is that you wish to say.
And it kind of addresses what's popping in the comment section right now, which I love to see. So like I said, a blonde can stand corrected like a mic is standing erect for George Santos to come on. Okay. And last night on our spaces, which you all should tune into, obviously, every Monday night, I was ragging on this. I was skeptical, and I was like, Trump better walk the walk, big promises here. And I have to say, I give him credit. He did what he said. And I realized, I had a come to Jesus moment, and I realized it's not in Trump's control what there is. Did I want more? Did I leave? Like, I felt left hanging, like Puppet leading me on, like we're going to go to Chili's anytime this century. Like, I read it and I was like, right, of course, nothing is truly answered. Yes, there are these little tidbits you mentioned here and there, Dave, but for the most part, we knew most of this. And someone in the spaces had said last night, and you had said this just now too, Dave, which was there going to be a paper trail, signed, sealed, delivered of, yes, the CIA, the mob, we are in on this, and here's the date and time. So it probably doesn't exist. So I can acknowledge when I was wrong, but I still like my romance with Puppet. We'll see if that ever happens. I'm left wanting more. Like, there was even a line in there, Dave, that was like,
women are always left wanting more.
Just satisfied. If you're going to be motorboat and Puppet,
a woman, it is impossible to satisfy a woman because you keep moving the goalposts.
What's moving the goalposts are these files.
You get 3 boobs. Anyway, go ahead.
It's like these files moving the goalposts. I even think there was a line that was like, it was something kind of ambiguous. And it was like, there have been conspiracies running amok. And I'm like, great, just as they're going to continue to, because nothing was really answered here. Look, even Rob Nelson, who is our producer, stirring the pot in this, said shocking the docs didn't connect the dots.
What is he doing with pot?
He said shocking the docs don't connect the dots.
No, you said something about pot.
Did I?
No, you didn't.
No.
Are you watching? Are you listening to the show?
Wait, so. Dave, are you on this show?
I mean, are you here?
Are you on the show? Dave, blink twice. Dave,
Well, listen, there is a conspiracy. Dave had 4 shots instead of 3 before the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not do shots.
So I'm actually drinking my whiskey out of a nice, refined little Van Gogh shot
What
glass.
the
tonight.
hell
So,
is that?
Pinkies up, guys.
Is that like one of those little cups that liberal women have their periods in?
I just spat my whiskey into the. This is not a preview for what's going to go down after Chili's. Okay, I'm much more,
Well,
have it
we know.
together than
At
this.
least we know
Or
she
do
spits.
Or do I? Or swallows.
That was a good one, Dave.
All right.
Dave is all proud. Dave is all proud. He takes a sip. He's like, "Am I right?" Comment section.
I'm drinking tonight. This is the Sazerac rye. It's a little douchey, but it's a really good rye. I don't like it better than the Angel's Envy rye, but I recommend the Sazerac rye. It's cheap. It's like $23, and it's a good pour. And it's only like 80 proof, so you can drink it late at night, and it doesn't,
because I'm having too much fun with this game. So I like it. Conservative men drinking like good old whiskey. So what do we think liberal men drink? What do liberal men? I'm having too much fun. I'm sorry, I have to.
I wouldn't even say Kool-Aid, because Kool-Aid is a conservative drink.
Milk?
I don't know.
Soy milk. That's what they drink, of course.
You know what they drink? Unsweet tea.
No, that is not.
Unsweet tea.
That is not true.
They definitely drink like macadamia nut, unrefined milk.
Oh,
like,
lattes.
Weird
They
shit.
drink lattes. Oat milk lattes.
Nut, milk.
Yes.
Yeah. Chat. What do you think liberals drink? I say oat milk lattes. Why is it getting so quiet? They're not going to talk to you. Anyway,
I was reading the comments. Also, Rob says the Kennedys all know it was a conspiracy. Dun dun dun. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we all know. I know.
So
if you don't know now, you know.
So Taylor, your take was that you thought it wasn't going to be much.
And I was right. I was wrong and I was right. I was wrong because I was definitely more skeptical. I thought it was definitely going to be the reboot that no one asked for of the Epstein files, like a big binder full of nothing, of like Nancy Pelosi's ripped up notes. Again, it's 80,000 pages of documents. I give Trump that. He was, he stood by his word. But again, there was nothing that revolutionary or that new. But then that's where, again, I'm corrected. It's sort of like, I want to get to the bottom of the truth, but what did I expect? Again, what was there going to be a whole big, plane in the sky being like, guys, this is what we are like a blimp. It's just not going to happen. So fine.
I love the Goodyear. Whatever happened? Does the Goodyear blimp still fly with the little messages on the side?
Sure it does. Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time. When I was little, it used to fly around and I'd see it. It would say things on there. Remember that?
I do. Actually, anybody who's been to a beach, this turn of the century, I think has. Again, I don't know. I don't even know if you are on this show or on this planet.
They don't fly blimps at the beach. No, they fly those airplanes with the little things behind it. It says 2 for $1 buckets of beer at the Beach Shack restaurant.
Well, we have some guesses here that liberal men drink wine and Ice House and Squirt.
Yeah, is he talking about what they do after they drink the Ice House, or is that an actual?
Yeah, I was wondering the same, but I didn't want to seem ignorant. Lack of transparency in our government that has existed for decades. The swamp is way deeper than we ever imagined. That's what Alan said. And yeah, that's Alan, kind of what I was saying last night on our spaces. It's sort of this annoying push and pull of we want transparency, but this kind of we all sort of, it's like the spoken yet unspoken thing of that's how deep the swamp goes. And it's to what end? It's just, will it just perpetuate forever? I know we're in an era of full transparency, but let's be real. Someone is always going to have something to cover up, if you know anything about the show Scandal. No, but I'm just saying it's someone, I don't know, will it ever really truly be balls out?
And Taylor, I don't think so, because look, Puppet found this video and he sent this to me today.
Hey, before we jump to the video, what's going on over at Pilled? Anything going on over at Pilled.net?
We have our good friend Two Wild Irish Rose blowing up the chat over there, telling everybody what our profiles are. But none of our friends are hanging out other than Two Wild Irish Rose right now, so we're waiting for some new folks over there. But I'll tell you what, Puppet. You sent me this video before we bring in George Santos. You sent me this video because Taylor asks, if it's going to make a difference. When people think like this, I don't think it ever will.
Hey, Governor DeSantis. Today, when I get up in St. Petersburg's clear blue sky and I started watching all the planes spraying. Now, I know the FAA knows who's flying. I'm pretty sure the governor can figure out who's flying and spraying and creating these fake clouds in the sky. Look. I even got footage of that plane spraying. So, Governor of Florida and Florida officials, what are we doing about this? And why don't you start explaining exactly what it is? Clear blue sky. Look at all the lines from the planes. I watched them all, and some of them stop spraying after a while and they restart. Can we have an explanation and a stopping of this, please?
Okay.
Go ahead, Puppet.
An interesting video. So first of all, I think it's important to note who that is.
Who is that?
Yeah, who?
That is Jim Brewer from All You Eight.
Oh, the guy with the butthole eyes.
That is Goat Boy. You know, which is a hysterical bit, by the way. And he's got a
Was he
huge
serious
following.
in that, or is he joking?
No,
Was
he's
it
completely
satire?
serious in that. He's completely serious in that.
I'm like, who is this man? Some people don't need saving, guys.
And he is completely serious in this video. Now, he did do burnout comedies in the 80s. So, I mean, you know, there might be something to that. But anyway, he's got a big following everywhere. And the amount of people that commented on this post was a ton. And lots of people were posting pictures of the skies near in where they are, showing the contrails and whatnot, whatever those things are. Now, I would love to know what you guys think of.
I'm sorry, the what trails? The what now?
Contrails.
The condensation trails that come from the lack of the heat differences when the airplane goes through the sky.
Supposedly, these things are made by the crystallization of the jet fuel exhaust as it hits the air. And there's different temperatures.
There's too much innuendo. It is hurting me inside that you guys haven't caught on. If any of you watching have caught this, contrails, white, leave a mark.
Your mind is in the gutter, Taylor. Why is your mind in the gutter?
I was just saying what the people were thinking, and you guys were just slow, not up to the take. That's okay. We're gonna get you sped up one of these days, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
all right. Well, look, I want to bring George in, but before we do that, I just want 10 seconds on this. Another joke she's going to make, I'm sure.
Only 10 seconds for your contrail, Dave.
Exactly. The thing is, here, there's people who think the Earth is flat. There's people who think those are contrails. There's people who think that pigeons are.
I will
have
say
radio.
That, Dave.
What?
The government does do cloud seeding.
We're not even going to cloud seeding right now. Don't even use the word seed
in that
with
area.
Taylor here.
I know. I'm doing the same seeding and.
But let me say this real fast. Here's the thing. After this last few years, there's really nothing that I won't say okay, maybe it's possible. I mean, everything we've seen, we've just been lied to by so many people that I would be naive to think that anything that I think is crazy may not be crazy. So with that being said, I've never signed on to the whole poison in this mind control poison in the sky or purple lights thing or pigeons with the radio antennas but flat earth. I've never been able to get into any of that stuff.
Unless
it's
Brigitte Macron, I'm not into it.
We
can talk about that another time, but that's one that I'm just saying. You talk about 3 balls, 2 balls, there's balls galore going on. I was at some point. Anyways, that's my tinfoil hat for the evening. But it gets
are you ready?
Kooky.
Are you ready to bring in George Santos?
The comment of the night. Jim Bob just posted the comment of the night.
What do you say?
Put it on the screen, bro.
Put it on the screen.
Put it on the screen,
Dad. Oh,
that's right.
That's why we keep you around, Jim Bob.
I guess I'm chopped liver.
Chopped
liver.
And I'll tell you guys this: George Santos is blowing up. I love it. Our private chat here are excited to come on. I wish Puppet would blow up mine. So,
all right. Well, I'm bringing on the man himself.
You're gonna get DMs from the PC.
Well,
What? Oh, Poppy.
The Carlson baby.
Oh.
That's right.
whatever. I'm bringing in my good friend George Santos. He is and will
Yay.
always be Congressman George Santos, a true conservative, a fighter, a hero. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Is this our first date, George? He's got the breath mints. Yes.
You look
So
spectacular
I was
tonight,
just
by the way,
kidding.
George.
Like, you guys were really killing me back here with that video.
No.
I don't.
Like, what happened? I had to Google it, George. I was like, is there something? Is my blonde really coming out? Is there something I don't know?
Subscribe to the conspiracies of chemtrails because I'm well too informed of a person to believe in that insanity. But, God bless all of you that do.
Well, now you were in Congress. Were you ever briefed?
Yes,
on contrails?
yes, actually, yes. They're not called chemtrails. They're crystallized jet streams. Because
No, you were briefed on it for real?
Yes, because there's real crazy people out there who really believe that that's a chemtrail. I have friends that believe in that. Yeah, look, they're designing it. It's zigzagging. It's all pure carcinogens. I'm like, oh my God, it's a real. Some people live in this level of our. How can I even put this? Of our multiverse in a very elevated, insane, belief of conspiracy down to the root of their core. And I'm just like, what?
Okay, can I throw this out to you guys? Because I will question everything. Transparency is my B, okay? But I feel like this is what happens when we've learned about how much the media's lied to us, the government, et cetera, because even people who I disagree with at times yet love, like the Tuckers or even like the Candace Owens, right? I feel like they get so conspiratorial sometimes because they're so distrustful that it's almost like cynical and in favor at times of people who are of ill will and of bad. And that's where I'm just like, it's just ick. Like, that's where it's like, I love a fun conspiracy, but sometimes it just gets cynical and goes too far and is taken as like truth,
Taylor, I'm a cynical person, right? So I'm very honest about
I'm just
that.
cynical.
I'm a very cynical person. But I will say this. I think people really need to understand that it's not a chemtrail. And Puppet, somebody said cloud seeding. Cloud seeding is very different than what that looks like. You would know cloud seeding when you look at cloud seeding, right? So what we're looking there is really a jet stream from it has to do with condensation. Oh, look, it stopped and started again. No, altitudes, currents, all of that interferes in that. So if they change elevation or make a slight turn, there's no current, there's no humidity. Boom, jet stream stops. They move up. Oh, jet streams, they're turning it on and off. Like, you know what? It's unfortunate that we live in a society that has people that are.
Well, it's
so
what happens
simplistic.
when the government lies to you. You can't believe anything anymore.
That's a good point.
It's my point.
And David has been cloud seeding his pants for the last
He has. So
minutes. So
I mean, and like George the weatherman, I'm here for it. Like, I love that whole breakdown. I mean, it's just that's the
Look,
silver lining of this whole thing.
People get so upset, but that's fine. It's okay. Look, I can go put a tinfoil hat on if you like me to. I have a
You probably have a really nice one. You have a Versace tinfoil hat on.
Oh, no. I was just going to open my tinfoil wrap of Reynolds aluminum wrap and just wrap one around my head.
George Santos would never wear a off-the-shelf tinfoil hat. You'd have to have one custom made with designer logos on it. Tell the truth.
It would be gold.
Tell the truth.
That is so not me. I'm not a label whore that
really. Who makes those glasses?
Ray-Ban.
No, that has to be
I only wear Ray-Bans.
Oh, right.
I'm super simple when it comes.
What kind of shoes were you wearing today, George?
Burberry.
A little brand you may heard of. They carry it at Target.
Actually, today I wore 3 pairs of shoes because I was shooting.
And what brands were those 3, George?
Burberry, Versace. No, sorry. Burberry, Ferragamo, and Prada. That
sure. I'm not a brand whore.
George.
No, I'm not a logo. I don't wear logos, right? I do.
What's a
wear
logo?
Brands. I mean, I don't when they have, what I'm talking about, Taylor? Like people can like gaudy out with the Gucci G's and the
They're
Fendi,
trying
like,
too hard. It's trying too hard.
I
Yep.
don't do the prints,
Yep.
like the canvas prints from the brands, like the
And it
Gucci
all
jacket full of.
matches.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. Like, I do wear the brands. Like this is literally a Saint Laurent turtleneck, but it's a black turtleneck. You know what I mean? It's like,
You know who does probably wear those matching designer are liberal men pretending to be straight, like Harry Sisson underneath all of their clothes.
Ooh.
Okay, so I
Is that a
actually
segue?
can we
Is
talk
that a
about this?
segue?
Because
Was that a segue?
somebody literally just knocked my teeth saying that they're whiter than puppets. That's kind of fucked up.
It's like it stops now.
No, that-
Yeah,
I
like,
just-
hi, Mr.
I
Ned,
just
how
went to
are
the
you?
same guy you did.
Yeah.
Wait, can we actually take a vote? Like how?
I went to the same dentist that George.
Let's see
went
him,
to.
puppet.
He shared the
Like
contact.
George just showed me.
Puppet, let me see
Pearly
your
whites.
choppers.
Yeah,
Those
let's see the
Turkish,
pearly
those Turkish
whites.
veneers you guys have on.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just do really good hygiene and brush my teeth multiple times a day, David.
I just
whatever.
floss. I just floss.
Yeah, floss
All
and
right.
brushing.
So Taylor set up her segue.
I'm
now we
so
ruined it
excited
with white teeth.
No,
Taylor,
I
you
wouldn't
were-
have
you-
it any other way.
You were
and
segueing
George,
to what? Harry Sisson. You want to talk about Harry Sisson?
you know,
Harry
we are
somethings?
in a news cycle that is, you know, as cynical as George Santos, you know, on any given day. And so when I saw this story, I was like, this just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And George, my panties and my mic have been so excited
Whoa.
to talk with you and everybody
Whoa.
here about this. So let me just set the
Whoa.
scene, okay,
I
guys?
like it when her panties are excited.
Oh, I know that. I know that.
It's been a
Okay.
long time since a woman's gotten her panties excited.
I know, George. You know how many pairs of shoes you went through today? That's how many pairs of panties Taylor's going to go through during this show.
In one episode. In one episode. Okay.
She's
So
cloud seeding her panties, folks.
and it's all because of these guys I'm on top of, if you know what I mean. So okay, so get this. Hypocrisy. I love a good, you know, hypocrisy being exposed moment. Okay. So we have Harry Sisson, who's a little sissy boy. He's a big liberal influencer. Okay. This is a guy, everybody, who his balls probably haven't dropped yet, but nonetheless, he has
He's a
his
eunuch.
he has his pronouns in his bio. He has videos with Obama, like basically motorboating like puppet Joe Biden, like the whole thing, okay? And he has a video that, you know, when Trump got elected in November, how it was such a bad day for women, writes himself off as this big women's rights, women, the whole, you know the shtick. Well, today, these women said, we've had enough. And they came out exposing this guy, basically how he's a bit of a pig and how he played like 12 women at once. And how in the same time of being like, no, I'm not just attracted to your body, would basically be like, send me tits and ass pics. Okay, let's see the goods on Snapchat. And so we can just have so much fun with
Should
this.
we play the video?
I mean, let's play it. Here's some of the women exposing him. Yeah.
All right.
I got played by a TikTok influencer for 9 months, and I think it's time that I expose his trashy ass behavior.
He had flat told us, hey, I am talking to other people. When all, like, a fucking dozen of us asked, hey, are you talking to anybody? Instead, he lied and said he.
Yeah. And apparently I have some pictures too here, Taylor. So this
That's
was
right. It's
like a roster. That means
it's a multimedia. Here's my thing, right?
So-
and I can't wait to hear what you guys think.
George,
Like,
do you have a roster?
I'm married.
yeah,
No.
Hey, do you have a roster?
who has a
married.
roster here?
Oh,
That's everybody's response. I'm married.
that's right.
Yeah.
Who has? Yeah, what? Didn't hear, see, no, nothing. All right, guys.
I have one too. I mean,
Exactly. Hear, see, speak no evil. My thing is, people are like calling these women victims. They're not victims of anything. They got played. Okay, they got played. Guys are going to be guys. My thing is, if you're going to be all this holier than thou, oh, women respect them, and then acting like this, boy, go back to school.
But
and
Taylor,
learn
do you know what I'm
something.
grasping with right now?
Yes, tell
Is
me.
that he managed to play a bunch of women to believe he's like a man. Like, I don't understand how this
conspiracy
has
plan.
happened. It's like, wait,
How did this
he is-
happen?
look, I think he's a good looking kid. I'll start with that, right? I think Harry is a good looking kid. He's an attractive young man. I mean, I'm not going to lie here, right? He's not ugly. It's not like, you know, I'm looking at a knee, but he's not masculine. Okay, so that's a bad thing. He's not masculine. He doesn't exude masculinity, virility, you know, alpha energy. So if you're gonna tell me that this dude's talking about, women and playing them, I'm just confused. Like, which women? And then when I saw it, yeah, they're like all teenagers. That's the only kind of woman he can play is a teenager who has no clue about life.
I agree. It's like he has like baby face and the whole thing. I can't lie to you guys. It had me thinking as a woman, this whole like the stereotype of conservative men and liberal men. And obviously, let's be real, they both kind of box women in different ways, no pun intended. Like Dave, we talked about this when you guys came on my show, but a lot of conservative men do have this sort of preconceived notion of like trad wife, women be proper, women be more all this, whereas liberal men, I don't even know clearly, case in point, what's going on over there. And it got me thinking, but conservative men as a straight woman, like they do there are exceptions, but they treat you better they're more masculine and like this. I don't know what's happening here.
They open doors. They're not afraid.
I'm
if you open
saying.
doors for a liberal woman, she's gonna be like, "Excuse me, I can open my own door." And then when you drop it in their face, she's like, "That's a microaggression on my face," and I don't want to deal with that.
I've actually slammed door shut.
Microaggression on their face.
So I actually once went out of my way here in New York City. It's very common. So I'm holding the door open for this woman as she's slowly coming out of the cab. She looks at me and said, "Did you think I wasn't capable of opening my own door?"
Oh
so
my
I literally
God,
pushed
lady.
her slowly. I go like, "Ma'am, excuse me," and I pushed back this really heavy straight door and shut it. And then I walked away, and then she came, and she comes in like, "That was very passive aggressive." I'm like, "Fuck you!"
We're just like, I clotheslined her. No.
Like, oh no, I didn't even say ma'am. I was just like, "Fuck you!" I'm so mad
because that might have misgendered her, and then it could turn into a whole
made it
thing.
aggressive.
I didn't even ask. Are we allowed to swear?
Yes.
Hell
Yeah.
Uncensored. Uncensored. You're allowed to say whatever you want here.
That's
Go,
great.
George.
That's great. So no, look, I mean, girls, because you're not women, so I gotta say this: girls getting played by Harry Sisson. Shame on you. Like, seriously, fucking shame. Grow up.
Oh, he's like, this is a you problem, babe. Okay, this is a you problem.
Yeah.
That's
like dating the Nigerian prince. Like when you fall for Harry Sisson or what Sisson, then you are easily going to be taken advantage of by a Nigerian prince as well.
I have a fortune. David, you're making me self-conscious. I have to go deposit $500 so that they can release my wire tomorrow. Should I not?
Like, oops, did I say too much?
Did I miss something?
You said Nigerian prince, and
yes. No, that's totally legitimate. I'm sorry.
I have to
got
go deposit $500 so they can release my $2 million inheritance.
Yeah, you got to go do that. You're not going to get the $2 million from the Nigerian prince.
They got to, it's a financial transaction. There's a kickback involved.
Yeah,
totally legit.
Okay, let's just cut to the chase, guys, with all of this, right? I think obviously it's hypocritical because conservative men get such a bad rap with women, but obviously it's like this is what goes on behind the scenes. We need to put this to bed, pun intended, to rest. Okay, who is better in bed? I don't care if it's gay, straight, whatever. Conservative men or liberal men.
I've never slept with a man, so I can't answer that question.
No, I'm saying straight, or it doesn't matter.
I never dated liberals ever. So I wouldn't know. I've never, to the best of my recollection, have never slept with a liberal dude. So I could not tell you. My husband
says it.
Understand this. My husband is to the right of me. I'm the liberal of the relationship. And it's pretty well known where I stand politically. And my husband, and David's met him, manages to be to the right of me. And he's an immigrant, which is even far more jarring to me. It's like, oh, okay.
That's how it works. That's like my mom. She's an immigrant and she's a savage. She's like, get them out of here. Like total savage. Wait, does this dynamic come up in your marriage though? Is he more traditional? Like, does this sort of like,
he it's so odd because he comes from a country, Brazil, where women don't have a lot of a platform. In Brazil, it's very much a sexist, machista country where men earn more than women. It's actually known. You can compete for the same job, even public jobs. The men rate is higher than the female rate, and he thinks that's absolutely normal. He says that women should be de-incentivized from actually going to work. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Puppet, what do you make of that? I see you. What do you think of that? You trying to get a trad wife for life?
Yeah, that's for sure. This is what I tell though. This is how we think about it in the Mannequin America community.
We had a whole argument about this in a space once.
Yeah.
About whether women should work. Now,
I think
George,
they should.
Giving Harrison Bucker. It is
well,
giving
they
Harrison
should if they
Bucker.
want to. They can work. Whether
I
they
think
should
women
work.
should work, not if they want to. I think they should work. It's healthy. It's
Well,
healthy to go to
but
work,
hold
right,
on.
Taylor?
What if they want to stay
I
home
would
with
go
the kids?
nutty. That's fine too. I've had a whole with the Harrison
working,
Bucker
though.
of it all. I've had a whole reckoning with this because I used to I would rag on the trad moms a little bit, and I get it. If that's your speed, that's your speed. But don't knock the working. Me personally, I would go nutty. I want both things, family and work, and my passion is like what gets me out of bed in the morning. That's me.
Yeah.
But it's like why we got to knock it either way. You know,
Your passion gets
look
you
at
into
it this
bed
way,
at night.
Taylor.
Oh.
Notice that all the trad wives are the crazy girls.
Oh,
'Cause
closeted.
they're bored.
Oh, I thought you meant closeted, like freaky closeted.
No. Let's look at all these trophy wives. They're bored. They become
exactly.
Look, they're bored. They become hypochondriacs. They become alcoholics. They're drinking spritzers at noon, and driving to pick up their kids tipsy at like 2 p.m. Like, of
They're
course
not
they're
well.
a wreck. And then people.
That's why they go to. That's why they'll go to Chili's with Dave.
Well, the worst
Exactly.
part is then they do shows of Real Housewives, and then you see this, you're like, no way that people live like this. No, yes, they live like this. It's like
In a
I represented
prison of
district-
insanity.
I represented a district, as I like to joke and say, full of Pinot Grigio moms, and
On the Upper East Side and out. Okay, they are everywhere. They are just infiltrated the space. Can we play Smash or Pass with George?
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. You picked up on the segue, George. When George is in Congress, you mentioned Congress, so you're known as being one of the best dressed members of Congress. And and there's other well-dressed members of Congress,
like Maxine Waters.
Right?
She is. She's ugly, but she's well dressed.
Yeah, I mean, she wears the same suits as Puppet, same size too. And then the
Alfani suit, Ferdines,
and her bag of money that she sleeps on. You know, she had to give like $50,000. She had to pay $50,000 fine for misappropriating money to Nathan Wade. Nobody even talked about that. We'll talk about that another time.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal. So that bag of money is getting smaller. That's the point. Last night we were in a space on X and we were talking about AOC and whether or not people found her attractive.
Yes.
You said right. And so I thought we would do something tonight. I thought we would take a look at several members of Congress and discuss whether or not they're attractive or not. And we could talk about the dress style of certain members.
And we'll do it rapid fire.
So let's start out right at
the
right at the beginning. Now, AOC. Here we go.
She's hot. She's well dressed. She's well put together, and she knows what she's working with.
Yeah, look, I'll admit she's an attractive woman. I mean, look here. Hold on. Here's another picture.
Yes, objectively, yeah.
And that is a thick fit, by the way, that she's wearing. That is a great fit.
But you know what kills
she knows
it
how
for
to work.
me?
She knows how to work it.
What kills it for me is the eat the rich, but like Douse and Chanel, like girl.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even Chanel. Like the best part of it is she is a great J. Crew type of Brooks Brother outlet shopper.
Like New York and Co.
The only reason I know is because I spotted her at an outlet that I go to.
And you guys went.
No, I completely hat on. Like this is literally me. Like, oh shit.
He is pulling a Leo DiCaprio, who I've seen with the hat. He did it to me once. I actually still feel a type of way about that. But anyways,
he hid from you.
He did the hat. Yeah, Leo, you're on notice. Okay.
Well, you're the celebrity whisperer, so he didn't want to be whispered to.
He's lost.
Somebody in our chat said AOC is no Taylor. By the way, Alan said.
I'll take it.
Hey, that's a compliment. They're both beautiful women. I mean, they're both beautiful women in their own way. They're very different women, but yeah, Taylor's a very beautiful woman.
I'd like to think I have more in here than rocks, but you know, I mean, that's just you know, I'm biased. What can I say? A gal can hope, you know, but. Anyways, that's on the inside.
The problem is
we're objectifying here.
Mouth and she starts talking. Anything comes out, you immediately just go.
Again, I said she was pretty with her mouth closed and smiling.
Yeah.
All right, contestant number 2.
The locker room, but of the White House. Okay,
contestant number 2. What do we think about
contestants like the
Lauren Boebert?
I mean, Lauren is a very close friend of mine, and here's what I'll say. First of all,
is that a real tattoo?
Yes, and that was a big revelation, and I gotta say that. I can attest firsthand that there has been additions made to that that are not public yet. But
wow,
I can say
breaking news tonight on Politically Uncensored.
She's very hot. She's tiny, petite, as people would jokingly say. She's fun size, and she's adorable. She's
like
tiny,
puppet.
like
Just
Lauren
like
Boebert
me,
is
baby.
I think she's like 5 foot, like 1. And then on a good day, she puts 5-inch stilettos. She hits a 5'5", 5'6", or something like that. So, like, Lauren's well dressed. She knows what she's working with. She's always having like that little. I joke that she buys kids clothes, but yeah, there's a limit to how much.
I actually do buy kids clothes.
Yeah,
Same,
you and Harry
actually,
Sisson.
Same. I feel seen.
Yeah.
Not seen, but
Yeah.
Contestant number 3. Anna Luna.
Look, if there was
Hot.
there was ever a swimsuit model that made it to Congress story, yeah, it's Anna Luna. Anna's hot. Like,
hot.
She's my freshman classmate. I love her. We're friends too. Like, she's just hot. Like, and you know what? She plays to an androgynous beauty sometimes. She'll show up like in a 3-piece suit with one of her dad's classic ties that she keeps. And it's just like, holy shit, she pulls off the man suit, she pulls off the Harry Potter vibe, and then she shows up in a gown, and she's all accentuated and cinched in the right places, nipped and tucked, and I'm like, girl, you work it. She's awesome.
Can I ask you something, George?
Throw off the Harry Potter vibe.
Oh,
I don't.
Hello. You know something about that. Can I ask you this, George? Because I feel a very specific type of way about how women in politics, any professional business type setting dress with the pantsuit, the whole thing. So my motto is boobs out, brain out. It's like, don't tell me how to dress, how to be. Both can shine at the same time. And I always thought, like, Kim Kardashian does this well when she goes to the White House. But I always thought, why does it always have to be the pantsuit? I understand it's like etiquette and professional and culture, but it's like, can we break that? Can we be done? Like, what do you think about that for women in politics? Can we be done?
They do it to exert dominance because they believe the moment they put his pantsuit that they're leveled with guys. And I've told them, I tell them, you don't need to do pantsuits.
Thank you, George.
You don't. And I encourage all of them, girls, put skirts, put hot. You know what I loved?
Thank you.
Sinema. She would show up with thigh-high boots to the Senate. Like, I miss Kirsten Sinema for that reason in the Senate.
Thank you, George. Because I always say, if you're trying to, like, why are you trying to be like them? We're our own breed. Like, you don't got to be dressing like a guy. So thank you for doing the work in that.
Well, it'd probably be more intimidating if they dress not like men. The men would probably.
I mean, the whole party's the whole party's trying to pretend like there's no biological difference between men and women. So of course, throw on the pantsuit.
I'm just saying, like Tulsi Gabbard and a little number, she'd rock it. Any of them.
All right. Well, let's be fair.
Wait, George. Wait, George.
What's the next picture, David?
No, hold on. Put the picture up.
I caught that.
Well, no, listen, let's be fair. We put up a bunch of women. Let's put up men too. What do we think about Mr. Corey Mills?
So when you said I was one of the best dressed, the one thing that comes to mind is the best dressed is Corey Mills. This man, not only does he smell really good, I don't know what his cologne is, but he smells good. His suits are tailored to his body. He has fantastic physique, and he only wears red bottoms. That's all he wears. So you can't. Well,
what are red bottoms for the rest of us poor folk who don't buy?
Come on, man.
They're Christian Louboutins, and he is always immaculately dressed. And I whenever people talk about best dress, I always say, do not say it's me, because there is 2 men in Congress, and Corey Mills is one of them that used to literally dress to the nines every single time. I've never seen him poorly dressed.
Wow. All right. I got another one for you. Madison Cawthorn.
Oh, hello.
All right. Look, Madison is a good looking guy. Personally, I don't like his dress style. Even when he was in the House, he wore too much plaid, too much checkered patterns on the jackets that they cross the line of tackiness for me. And I love Madison, but I don't think he quite grasps the fashion sense entirely.
What about our former prime minister to the north, Mr. Justin Trudeau?
Look, Fidel Castro's kid is hot. I can't lie. You know, he's very good looking. He has good physique, and he knows how to pull off a suit. You know, I don't like the haircut. I always thought it was a kind of little like cucky, but you know, he's a Castro.
Everything he does is cucky. Everything he does
Well,
is
he's
cucky.
Fidel Castro's son, so that's
Right.
what happens.
All right,
Or so
now
the rumors
The
say.
bride of cucky.
Now, arguably, this is probably one of the most attractive women in Congress.
Bar none.
Hey! Oh my!
I
Pat,
absolutely hate
Santos.
You know what? Bar none. The one outfit, one look ever, best dress of all time. Mic drop moment. Agreed.
Yeah.
Girls, stand aside.
I
There's
was
no
gonna
gender
say.
difference.
pack your toys up, pack it up, and go home, ladies.
Pack your bags
okay?
and go home.
You had your time. No, sorry, you've been outshined.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Oh, I was not expecting that. That was funny.
That's the reason why all the other that's why all the women had to strip down into their bathing suits. They're like, oh shit, now there's competition. So George had to raise the bar
Exactly.
across Congress.
Hey, throw
I think that's the
feathers
real
and
reason
some
they kicked him out.
crystals, right?
That's the real reason they kicked him out, because
Yeah.
all the conservative members were attracted to him. And so they said, we have to do something with this problem. It's making me feel things.
Exactly. They're feeling things. The women are like, maybe we will go boobs out, braid out. I don't know. Like, we have some stiff competition here.
You guys
They
are
love
evil.
to feel things.
You guys are just evil, I swear.
I love that. It's that photo and Puppets motorboating. I don't know. They are neck and neck. They will live rent free in my psyche every day forever.
Well, yeah, there's certain things I'm not going to get out of my head.
Well, I will say one little comment in passing since I'm reading your comments here.
Yeah.
It's funny that somebody just said, but we can keep Nancy's girls locked up.
Yes. That woman, her dentures in her mouth and her boobs in her blouse. That would.
I don't think we're not talking about the same Nancy. How about that?
Oh, you're talking about Mace? Does Mace show cleavage?
Sure, she does a lot, and she's very busty, and you know, it's pretty. Show him. She's definitely the most busty woman I've ever seen in like any official role in my life.
Really?
Yeah, she's pretty busty. Yeah,
I never knew this about Nancy.
And she lost so much weight, and now they look even bigger.
Wow.
She looks great, though.
I want to ask you something, George, before we have to sadly let you go, which I hope is actually never. But since and I have to say, last night on the Spaces, I loved how transparent you were. I asked you if there was something that you really learned that you didn't expect, being behind the scenes and behind closed doors. And I love that you were like, these people are bought out, this, that, and even your whole dynamic with AOC and like the theater when the cameras are on, like the whole thing was so brilliant. And because you have a rep to protect now, like my bar is here for you in airing it out. Tell me, you don't have to give like specific names if you don't want, but I imagine that scandal type stuff goes down in there.
Let's just say.
Oh, do you want to
Madison
give us a window into
Cawthorn.
uncensored scandal, George?
So
I'm saying, you know what I mean.
Madison Cawthorn wasn't lying when he says that Congress was run by cocaine orgies. How about that?
I mean,
wow.
I mean, I have
54 shit here, folks.
I mean, Studio 54 would blush, but sure. Let's just put it this way. Capitol Hill is a sex-driven, sin-craven cesspool, or as my colleagues on the other side of the pond would say, it's a cesspit. And yes, there's a lot of sex, drugs, deception, and thievery that take place.
So the chamber is like Christian Grey's chamber, basically, that none of us ever knew. Oh, he's like Christian Grey could never.
Let's put it this way. There is a red room in the basement of the Capitol somewhere, and I will find it one day.
I'm with you. Okay, I'm on board. Let's go. I will stop at nothing. Inspector Gadget me to this because I am ready.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. It's power hungry. They're spending all this time, but on the surface and the theater, like you said, George, I haven't seen it the same. I mean, we kind of knew, but like when the cameras turn on, it's like Hollywood, just the whole thing. And I thought it has to be going down in there.
Did they take you to the Red Room on the tour?
I'll put this real quick. No, David, I'm saying there is one and I haven't found it yet, but I do think there is one. As far as Capitol Hill, sex is very much a culture of the politics in Capitol Hill on DC. Unfortunately, when we say they're fucking Americans, they're quite literally doing it.
Wow.
It's kind of, but it's, I mean,
and each other.
Most of these people, it's like the Villages, and here it's like
Pretty much, yeah. I would compare it in a way because, granted, the age, you're all retirement age,
Right.
like, for the most part. So yeah, you're a bunch of horny 60-plus-year-olds.
Gross.
I would like to be the Viagra dealer in Washington.
Yeah, that would be lucrative. But there's also the cocaine dealer. He might kill you.
No, we would work together. We would work together. We wouldn't, because I don't think you could snort Viagra. What would happen? I mean, you would certainly end up with an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. We have to ask Hunter Biden, I think.
I was just going to say that. Ask Joe Biden if he's still alive.
I don't think Hunter needs one. He's young, right? So I would say we might want to ask one of the old timers, but
if you sniff Viagra, you get a profile like this.
Smash or pass. Last one, George. Smash or pass, Hunter.
Oh, God.
So here's the deal. When he was younger, he was really attractive. He was. Do you remember the pictures of him?
And he had before he lost his teeth.
Well, and by the way, he didn't lose his teeth. He got veneers. That's what that picture is. He's in a dentist chair showing his little stubs. And I know that because that's how my real teeth are now, because I have full set veneers in my mouth. But that being said, when he was younger, do you remember that famous picture of him, Obama, and Joe Biden in a basketball game? Dude, he's hot. He used to be a good-looking dude. He just messed himself up with drugs. But past
and corruption.
Younger Hunter Biden, smash. Current, pass.
Wow.
Diplomatic.
Right. What about me?
Yeah.
I told you how I feel about mannequin people yesterday.
That's right, you did. I forgot about that.
I'm gonna bring one of my golden retrievers on you and let them find what you're made out of in the inside.
Oh,
I'll let you.
George, at least let him take me to Chili's first, okay? And then the golden retrievers can go to town.
Let me tell you, George. You want to find the red room? He's got a red room straight on the other side where
Oh, stop it, Dave. He's going to talk about that behind again.
You don't want to let your dogs anywhere near him. You don't want to let your dog anywhere near him.
Dave.
You'd have to get him vaccinated. Like you'd have to be part of their boosters. Anyway, George, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you're back again and again. And we're going to have lots of fun on this show as we go forward. This is our second episode. And so the fun is just beginning. We appreciate
Make sure that everybody listening and watching, you tune in to watch Politically Uncensored with David Pollack, Taylor Ferber, and Puppet Carlson. I can't believe I just plugged the puppet. But also, if you enjoy what you had to see about George Santos, you can also tune in on Sundays at 7 p.m. to watch Pants on Fire everywhere you get your podcast. Thank you for having me. And this was so much fun. I cannot wait to join you guys in the future again. And this is an open invitation for you guys to come on down to New York and sit with me on my little couch so we can have some fun.
We're doing it. Puppet fits in the suitcase.
As long as you put the dogs in a crate and good.
Red room tour. There.
All right, guys. That's all the time.
Awesome.
That is all the time we have for tonight. George, thank you so much for joining and being here. And guys, we will see you same time, same place. We'll see you on Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Be there. Laugh some more. George Santos, thank you so much for being here. Taylor, Puppet, as always. And we will see you guys on Thursday. Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Thank you.